Okay, Henry, how's the offseason been for you so far? I know you've been working out a lot here anyway.
Man, it's been good. Working out with Mike and them and their strength staff has been great. But kind of took some time with my family. Spent about 2 weeks back at home and just spending time with family, spending time with my wife, taking her on little, small vacations here and there.
Yeah.
But it's been great, but excited to get back to work.
Is she from your home area, or when you go home, are you taking her to a completely different area?
Oh, I'm taking her to a completely different area.
Really?
She's going to my stomping grounds and learning where I'm from and what I do, but she's from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So she's from the beautiful island of Hawaii. She's from the town she's from is called Laie. So it's a small town, about small population, but the community, the culture there is really, really strong.
Yeah.
Wait, where'd you two meet?
Crazy story. I met her on FaceTime. She was my sister's best friend, and I called my sister one day, and then she thought I was somebody else. But then, lo and behold, I worked my magic and did my thing.
So no dating apps, just FaceTime.
FaceTime.
A different kind of app.
Yeah, it was a different kind of app, but it wasn't how people find dating these days.
Right.
But it was from a family, so.
So when you get back home, what's it like with your boys, people that know you, friends, family?
Yeah.
They just treat you like, man, Henry's been here, man. We know him. He's our. But is it like, oh, he's this big football star now with the NFL? What's it like when you go back?
Oh, man, when I'm back home, I'm just a regular Joe. My mom don't treat me different. My boys don't treat me different, and I think that's just a testament to my circle.
Yeah.
I keep my circle super small, just with people that I love. Probably out of all the friends I have in high school, I really don't think I chill with any of them. And it's all family members that I'm really, really close with. So when I go home and I'm kicking back, doing what I want to do, doing what my boys want to do, it's nothing different. But, obviously going to football camps and speaking to children here and there, it's a different story. But when I'm with my family, man, I think that's the time where I'm able to just, do the dumb stuff that I want to do that I can't do in public, that when somebody record me and do something stupid. But when I'm with my boys and my family, man, I think that's my getaway. That's kind of my vacations and why I love the offseason so much.
Yep.
Playing high school ball in California, you had a lot of options to stay on the West Coast for college, but you went to Tennessee first, then Alabama. How difficult was it, a decision to go east?
It was tough. I think that was probably the hardest decision of my life, honestly, I was 18, and leaving my parents at a young age. And I come from the Polynesian culture, so, we're rooted in family. That's everything to us. Family's the rock center of our culture. But it was my dad. I wanted to go to Washington, the Oregons, and the USCs. I wanted to stay home, but my dad knew it was best for me to go out and leave and grow up as a young man and knew it was going to pay off for me. So if there was all credit, my dad's been my lifelong coach, so it all goes to him and his ability to push me and go away from home, son. Go home, go away, and grow up. So
Henry, from year one to year two, from year one, your rookie year in 23 to year two in 2024, what was the biggest difference for you? And what was kind of the biggest part of your growth from year one to year two?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I think the biggest thing is confidence. I think my confidence kind of raised through the roof after the first game when we played Indy. I think I didn't have the best game, but it wasn't like I was kind of tiptoeing around, Yeah. So I think after that game, it was just a huge confidence booster. Then we played Chicago, and that was probably one of my best games I ever played. So after that, it just kind of just rolled over. But besides confidence, I think it was my body. Yeah. I was so heavy my rookie year. I didn't know how to control my body, what to do. Then a guy like Azeez comes in and shows me his ropes and how to take care of his body. And I kind of took what he does and kind of implemented my own little thing. But I think those two things, man, because everybody knows football.
Yeah.
Everybody plays football. We know the ins and outs of it. That's why we're here. But I think my confidence is what carried me, and then how I changed my entire body throughout that offseason and going into the season.
We're about to have a lot of rookies coming through the door here, and what would you tell them? Would you tell them something like that? If they hear your story, what you just said, I think that would help them, but what else can you say to them about the adjustment of playing in the NFL?
Man, I think what I would tell somebody, and this is me being who I am, and I know a lot of guys are like this, especially coming in, just be open to vets and kind of hearing their story and what they do. I think as a rookie, I was so stubborn, and I was successful at Alabama. I was successful at Tennessee. I was able to compete at the highest level in college and thought that way, the way I did things was going to work when I came to the NFL. But the NFL is a whole different animal. So, I think my advice is just listen to a vet, man. They know what they're talking about. They're not going to lead you astray. They've been in the NFL for a while. So I think that's what I didn't do. I had good vets in our room like Blake Cashman, Denzel Perriman, Corey Littleton, a lot of guys that were in the room that knows the ins and outs of the NFL. So, man, just be open-minded. Don't be stubborn like I was.
And I think the other thing is adaptability. I think it's got to be big. And the reason I bring it up, Henry, is we sat with DeMeco, and I remember this distinctly. Obviously, Azeez gets a suspension. We're like, all right, well, who's going to play Mike? What's going to happen? We got a bye week, and then we got to play Miami. And we know Miami's a different kind of offense. Yeah. I mean, they do things a little bit differently. They show you a lot of smoke and mirrors, and you got to wear the green dot. And I asked Coach, I said, Coach, how was it with the communication with Henry? And I remember him saying distinctly, we didn't have a bust all day in large part because of how you communicated. Yeah. How different of an experience was that? You did it at Alabama, but now you got to do it in lieu of Azeez. How was that? Do you remember that game in that way of you kind of communicating, being the guy that communicated with the front and the back that way? Do you remember that from that game?
100%. I think so. I kind of did a little bit my rookie year, but it was kind of in and out. Yeah. I had it a little bit during the game, then I came out, and then somebody else took it. But that was like the very first time where I kind of had to take control of everything, and everybody depended on me to be able to, one, make a play, but get everybody aligned. Yep. So, man, that game was it was hectic. It was crazy. They do a lot of smoke and mirrors, like you just said, but man, I just vividly remember like the pressure of everybody looking at me and relying on me to get them the call and get them aligned, and they move so fast. Yeah. Miami moves so fast, so being able to do that and get the guys and communicate that, and I think that's. I mean, obviously, I always go back to Azeez because, man, Azeez has been a huge part into coming in this organization and helping young guys like myself, watching him, how he works and how he prepares every single day and how guys look up to him and how he carries himself. And I see that every day. And I look at that and I'm like, man, so when it's my turn and I'm the leader of the defense, whether, I stay here or I'm somewhere else, like that's how it's supposed to be done. Yeah. Azeez does it the right way. And not saying I'm going to do it exactly like he does, but when it's my turn, like, I'm going to uphold that standard or even surpass it when it's my turn. So that's kind of how I approached it when it was my time.
Yep. We did this after the whistle feature with you, and you talked about the players being a family and everybody being so close and how that helps you on the field and off the field. What about that part of it? You mentioned some of it with Azeez. What about everybody else, Henry?
Man, just the way how I wish everybody was able to just sit in that locker room. Like somebody put a camera in there and just watch how we maneuver in there. Like watch how we shoot hoops, watch how guys are not even on their phones and we're kicking it with each other, how we're having deep conversations or even in the training room. Like I wish people can actually see the connections that we have, the conversations that we have. I wish we had a microphone walking off of practice. Like sometimes we're not even talking about practice. We're just talking about, hey, man, like how you doing? Like what are you eating for dinner? Or like how's your wife? How's the kids? So those are a lot of things. Like I can't point specific things, but I just really wish that people were able to see how we talk to each other, how we love each other, how we sit in the locker room and spend quality time with each other. Because, man, we spend more time here than with our families, honestly. So, man, these guys we were last year, and I expect us to be a really, really tight group again, just off of, from the top down. Coach Miko does a great job of telling us this is a family, and we take that to heart, and we really care for one another.
You mentioned this earlier. Sting mentioned it on the Pod to Pivot podcast. He talked about the standard. Now, you were at Alabama where it was the process, but it's kind of the same thing. There's a standard that you guys are held to, especially as guys that have been around a little bit, that everybody's got to match that standard, that there is this pull within you, like you said, I got to match the standard. Azeez isn't there. I got to live up to that. I got to make sure everybody else is following my lead. I gotta reach that standard. Derek talked about that, with Nico. Like Nico signed a contract here, right? Next day he was in the weight room. He's like, we gotta set that standard, and we've got to have guys reach and move towards that standard. Do you kind of feel that way with this team, Henry, that there is a certain standard that you guys play at, that not everybody can be a Texan. Yeah. Not everybody can play at that standard because you guys have set that standard so high for you. So do you kind of look at it that way in a sense?
100%. And I think Will was the first one to say it.
Yeah.
Everybody can't be a Texan. And I mean, that's true, man. The way we work, man, we're grinding throughout the season, throughout the offseason, throughout OTAs. Like it's a daily grind, no matter if it's film, no matter if it's a walkthrough. I think it's just that mindset that DeMeco has that he pours into us. Like the way he was a player, now I wish I played with Miko because the way he coaches us and pours that attitude into us, like, if you're not going to do it this way, you can't be here.
Right.
Plain said, like, we're going to find somebody else to do it. So I think that mindset that we all have together, like, we understand what Miko wants, so we're going to exactly do what he wants and more. So, man, that mindset is spreads throughout the entire building. Yep.
All right, one more for you. Draft weekend memories. You're drafted in the 5th round.
Yeah.
And I got to find out from you what that wait was like.
Yeah.
And plus, former coach here used to say, it doesn't matter how you got here, but you're here, and clearly you're making the most of it. So what about all that?
Man, draft. Oh, man. I was, I ain't gonna lie, now that I look back at it, man, during that moment, because I was expected, and I thought, that's kind of the big thing. I'm going to tell guys, don't think you're going to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't think you're going to get drafted in a certain spot. But I thought I was going to go second day, like third round. So then that whole thing happens. I didn't get drafted. And then I was so mad the third day. I was pissed off. And then I got a call. If you guys look back at it, I didn't sound too excited when I got the call. I could have had more enthusiasm, but I wasn't as happy. But, man, hindsight 2020, man, I think that's just how God works, man. He puts things in your life, some obstacles and some trials for a reason. And I don't think there's no other place better for me than here, than being under Miko, being in Houston with the fans and just a city, man. I think this city perfectly fits me. So I'm super blessed to be here. But, yeah, after I got that call, man, it was party. It was all reliefs away. All my stresses went away. I think the biggest thing out of draft weekend was just seeing how proud my parents were. I think that was the biggest thing, and the relief they had. Because I'm the first one in my family to graduate college and the first one to be in the pros. So I think the blessing of seeing my parents super happy, smiling, and giving hugs and kisses to people we don't even know. I think the congratulations they got and their hard work and their sacrifice that they made for me is what motivates me and drives me every single day. I think being a fifth round draft pick, I'm in here, I'm in the league, and I'm super blessed. So not me being a fifth round pick drives me. No, I'm super blessed.
Well, we're blessed to have you on the team.
Appreciate you guys so much.
Henry, thanks a lot.
Thank y'all.